Hamlet can be split down the middle. It can go into search for self or social experience. At the start of the play, we found out Hamlet's father is murdered by Claudius, which is his uncle, and for the rest of the play, Hamlet is being a crybaby little bitch and goes on a mission to get revenge on Claudius. The best example of Hamlet reflecting on himself is in his to be or not to be monologue. He is contemplating suicide during this, and the only reason why he's against it is because his religion. If he were to commit suicide, it would be frowned upon, and he would go to hell. This fits into both categories. Again, the main character, Orwell, is a British cop in Burnham, which has been invaded by the British. While there, an elephant goes on a rampage, starts messing stuff up. When he arrives on the scene, he does not want to shoot the elephant because he believes it did nothing wrong, but the people around him are pressuring him into doing that. After he shoots the elephant, he has to live with the regret of killing the elephant, but the only reason why he did it was because he fell into the pressure of the people around him. Now this may seem like it belongs in Search for Self, but this is an English class, so let's take a deeper look. In the poem, we see the main character be picked up by death and taken out kind of like a date. And as they're going along, she sees all this life happening around her. She sees school kids playing, a field full of flowers, and the sun setting. In life, all we know is our own life. All we care about is us and our loved ones. But after we die, what's left? Unless you're some famous person or did something amazing, you usually won't be remembered for 2 generations or more. I Heard a Fly Buzz is about an old person on their deathbed. While dying, they describe how it feels to die and what she is seeing. Now, the poem is up in the air on how some people may interpret it, but I believe the fly she is seeing is regret she has in her life. It's something that is stopping her from having a good death. She's reflecting on herself and how having regrets held her back in life and how she would go back and change them. Now, it's pretty obvious where Lord of the Flies belongs. It's a group of kids crushing each other with big-ass boulders, putting pigs' heads on sticks, and burning down entire islands, and stabbing each other. When the kids crash onto the island, they immediately start building a pyramid of power. Younger kids at the bottom, the older kids at the top. The pyramid eventually gets broken because Jack is a little Nazi and wants all the power for himself. The boys also go from innocent British boys to complete savages. They kill each other in some crazy ways. They go through this change to survive in their new habitat, and they change from the societal norm they came from to the new savage way. The Cask of an Armadillo is about a man named Montessor, and he was insulted by his friend, and it was so insulting that he crashes out and kills him. The way he kills him is brings him down to the cellar, and he puts him behind a wall, just like every other fucking Edgar Allan Poe story. Same thing happens in every single one. Kind of crazy. Now, putting somebody behind a wall is kind of a crazy crash out for a little insult. And there's something definitely wrong with the main character's brain. But the message of the story and how it involves the social experiences, everybody thinks they're in the right. You know, he puts them behind a wall and thinks, oh yeah, this is, justifiable. What I did was okay. And that's why the world is so divided. Everybody thinks they're in the right when they're not in the right. And that's why we don't have world peace. Throughout the story, the narrator shows signs of internal conflict. He used to love his pets, now he dislikes them and kills them. He had a favorite, though, and that was his black cat, Pluto. One day, when he comes home drunk, the cat bites him in the hand, and he fucking hangs it in a tree, has the greatest crash out of all time. He eventually gets a second cat, starts crashing out more, puts his wife in the fucking wall, the second cat missing the eyes in the wall somehow, and now he just lives like nothing happened. He's just a crazy person, The first cat, Pluto, represents the narrator's past, and when he hangs the cat, he's effectively killing off his past life. Nothing will ever be the same for him after doing that. The story is saying that no matter what you do in life, your past will always kind of be there lingering, and you can learn from it, or you can keep doing bad stuff like the guy in the story is doing, and nothing will change. The novel I chose to read was American Sniper, and if you don't know what it's about a man named Chris Kyle who grew up in Texas. He was originally a bull rider, and one time he got flung off that bull, and he broke his wrist and got some surgery done to it. And since he couldn't bull ride anymore, he tried to enlist into the military, but was rejected. And then a couple years later, he was let back in to become a Navy SEAL. Now, American Sniper fits into both categories. For the individual part, Chris would identify himself as a SEAL before anything else. It's the biggest part of his identity. At the start of the book, he says how he is a SEAL, and that's mainly how he identifies. And throughout the book, he talks about his morals and what he did when he was in Iraq. When he's asked the question of does he regret killing those people, he always says no, he was just doing his job and protecting his guys. He'd much rather, his guys survive than to kill some Iraq person. For the social part, what Chris did in Iraq could be considered wrong. He did kill many people, but there's also the part where he was saving his own guys. If he didn't, kill his people, his own people would have died. And it's the kind of thing where it's kill or be killed. And it's up to the person to decide if what he did was right. And in Chris's eyes, what he did was right. And that's how he feels about it.